So happy y'all are here. Second week with this heart chakra. And even if you weren't here last week, even if you haven't been able to join, any of the classes, totally fine. And honestly, this is probably the best one you could join in on. The entire class just centered around love, receiving love, giving love. And I am really excited to share a little Metta meditation with you all at the end, which is a loving kindness meditation. Um, you'll see that at the very end in Shavasana. But just approach this class with an open heart, an open mind. You'll be just fine. And just remember to continue making choices that support and honor what you need, right? Even if I'm like, okay, let's come into fallen triangle, and you're like, no, ma'am, not tonight. You don't have to, okay? And I always try to give options and modifications. Okay, let's do this. Let's get started. We're going to come on down to our backs first. If you are choosing to listen to music tonight, remember you can listen to the playlist that I send with it. You certainly don't have to. You can do no music or choose something else, even some kind of ambient sounds in the background. But you're welcome to go ahead and press play on that. Take your time coming on down. I've just got a little bolster with me tonight because your girl needed some knee support. Take your time though, coming on down. You can let those legs extend long. And again, take your time here. Let those feet fall open. Let your eyes come closed if you feel okay in doing that. Maybe that big, beautiful physical breath out. That big exhalation serving as this release. That even if it's just for the next hour, just this 1 hour, we're choosing to part with some of the heaviness that we might have carried all day today. See if you can roll those shoulders down. Maybe let those palms just face up to encourage this beautiful external rotation. Remember that in a heart chakra themed class, it's so important to approach everything we do this evening from a place of love, compassion, no judgment, just from a complete observation standpoint. In this moment, it's really natural to allow the events, the experiences of the day, of the weekend, of the past week or month to kind of flash through your mind, to acknowledge them. And then the important component of that is to watch them pass on. Keep softening your body here. Keep connecting deeper to it. Keep checking in through those scans. Can the knees part just a little bit more, which is allowing those hips to soften? We'll begin to come into this very heart-centered breath that I shared with you all last week. As you take your next inhale, allow your tongue to press to the roof of your mouth. Pull that inhalation straight from your heart all the way to the crown of your head. On your exhale, the tongue will release and it will come back to just a resting position in your mouth. Your next inhale, again, that tongue presses to the roof of your mouth. You pull that breath from your heart all the way up to the crown. And then you exhale and the tongue rests. And you just continue here at your own pace, doing your best to connect and sync that breath to that very gentle movement. Maybe we visualize this breath being pulled from the heart, but then being returned to the heart. You'll find just 3 more rounds. Try to concentrate on those 3 rounds deeply and intensely. And after you've completed the 3 rounds, just sinking into a natural rhythm. Let's draw one final big deep breath in through the nose. Allow it to kind of wake up the lungs a bit. Full expansion, keeping the lips sealed if that feels all right, exhaling it out through the nose. You might hear just begin to draw some little movements back into the body. So just wiggling the fingers or wiggling those toes. And then your next inhale here will start to bring those arms overhead. Nice full body reach here. You point the toes. You feel your entire body here lengthen from those big toes all the way up to the middle fingers. Take one more big breath. Beautiful. Exhale it out. Allow those hands to come back down beside your hips. Those palms might face down just to help ground you. And then you'll begin to walk those feet up. Let them stay grounded, but walk them to the outside edges of your mat so that your knees can knock together. Allow the hands here to just come to the hips and rest on that low belly. Your elbows might walk out a little bit wider. You might physically lift up the head, retuck the chin, and then place the head back down, just finding this really nice length here. Take one big breath here, draw it into that belly, feeling it lift, pressing into the palms of your hands, and then exhaling, letting it come back down. Beautiful. Take those hands back down by the sides. Knees can pull away from one another as your feet kind of heel toe closer, and those knees feel a little bit more neutral here. When you're ready, you'll gently press into those feet, lift the hips just slightly. Our first bridge, you don't have to go big. Reground those big toes. Take another breath. Let the heart shine. Exhale, lower the hips down. You'll hug your knees into your chest once those hips fully connect. Drawing them in close, feeling free here that we can absolutely readjust the head and the neck at any point. Good. Maybe finding some gentle rolls or rocks. Massaging out the low spine, that low back. Just some loving, gentle movements here. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's let those feet plant, but let the soles of your feet then come together. Knees fall open, our reclined butterfly. Hands are welcome to stay on the hips or anywhere else that feels comfortable. Your eyes here might soften behind those closed lids, and you'll take one more big breath. Now, don't rush the exhale. Let those knees maybe fall a bit more open. Good. Take your time, maybe assisting those knees back up. Now, this time when you're ready, ground the feet. We'll find our second bridge pose. So lifting those hips, grounding the feet. Beautiful. Maybe we lift a little bit higher. Big inhale. Good. And then on your exhale, go ahead, let the hips return back down. You'll take your right leg here to the sky. So sending it up nice and high. Hands are going to come down by your sides. Step your left foot in a little bit closer to you. So closer in towards that glute. When you're ready, big inhale, press into it. Lift the hips. Your right leg still pressing to the sky. Okay, keep this. Now keep the core strong. You're going to send this right leg just down towards the ground while your hips stay lifted. Maybe that heel just taps. Maybe it wants to stay in line with the left knee. Take an inhale, lift it to the sky. Exhale, lower it back down, warming up that left thigh one last time. Inhale, lift it. Exhale, let it lower. You'll inhale, lift it to the sky. On your exhale, lower the hips, cross your right ankle over the left knee, left thigh. Hands find your cactus arms. So the backs of your shoulders pressing heart wide open, maybe the backs of your hands here to your mat or to the ground. Flex through that right foot. We're going to make this a bit dynamic here. Okay, so that right knee is open. We're in this kind of reclined pigeon pose, or this figure four stretch. Okay, big inhale through your nose. On your exhale, you'll very slowly start to bring your right foot down towards the ground as if it was stamping it. But then take an inhale, come right back up. On your exhale, plant or attempt to kind of stamp that right foot down. It's a little twist. Inhale, come back up. Here's your last time. Exhale, stamp that right foot. Inhale, come back up strong. But on your exhale, we fall the opposite side. So now that right knee dips down towards the earth. Maybe you kind of swivel on that left foot and we come into a bigger twist. Gaze might fall left. You're welcome here to unhook that right foot. Your knees here being pretty far apart from one another can be a little intense. Feel free to walk them closer. Yeah, good, you all. Take one more big inhale through the nose. Big exhale out. Strong core here. Inhale, come back to that figure four. So you're planting through that left foot. You'll take this right leg back to the sky, but keep your hips down, just pressing through that right heel. Take one more big inhale. Good. Hug this right knee into the chest. Send your left leg long to the mat. Just finding some length here to that left leg. You can press through that heel, maybe circle out through that right ankle. Good. Big inhale through the nose. Beautiful. Exhale it out. Let's plant this right foot. You can drag up that left to plant as well. And we'll do this all again on the other side. When you're ready from here, big inhale, start to press those hips up nice and high. We'll find that bridge pose again. Maybe this time you shimmy the shoulders underneath you. Take one more big breath, ground the big toes, fill up the lungs. Exhale, lower the hips down. Good. Left leg gets sent to the sky here. So you're pressing that left heel away. Your hips are still down right now. First, just finding that length. Now, maybe you begin to walk that right foot a little closer in towards your glute. Power up that thigh. Inhale, press and lift those hips. Good. Remember, it doesn't have to be that high. Don't get caught up in how high you're pressing. Just finding something that feels good for you. So 3 times we move here. Big breath in. On your exhale, lower down that left leg, but keep pressing through that right foot. Big inhale, come back up. Big exhale, lower that left leg. Core is really strong. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower it down. Last time here. Inhale. Good. Now on your exhale, you'll lower down the hips, but bend that left knee, cross that left ankle over the right thigh. We find that reclined pigeon. Good. Inhale, reach those arms overhead, and then they'll find your cactus arms. So again, just opening through the heart here. Try to really connect through the backs of the shoulders. Inhale through the nose. Now your left foot is the stamp here. On the exhale, it starts to come down towards the ground. Strong inhale, you pull it right back up. Connect with your breath here. Big exhale, kind of stamp that foot down. It doesn't have to touch. Inhale, come right back up. Here's your last one. Big exhale. That foot maybe presses. Inhale, come back through center. Take it slow. Now just the other way. You'll exhale, drop that left knee towards the earth. Maybe shimmy on that right foot. And your gaze might fall right. So you feel this really nice stretch through that right hip, especially if we still have that left ankle crossed over the right thigh. Pulling this breath into your heart space. One more inhale. Good. Big exhale out. Keep that core really strong here as you come back up to that reclined pigeon, replanting that right foot. And now from here, just simply taking that left leg to the sky, pressing through that heel. Good. Beautiful. One more inhale. And now we'll bend that left knee, hug it into our chest, and extend your right leg down towards the mat. Really press through it, pretending as if we were doing this posture standing. That's how active we want to be through the right leg. One more big breath. Big exhale out. Really nice, you all. When you're ready, let's drag up that right foot to meet the left. Hug the knees into the chest. You're welcome here to allow the knees to part, maybe just a little bit. And maybe coming back into that gentle, loving rock side to side. Taking 2 big breaths in through the nose. Now let your lips part here. Big exhale out. One more just like that. Inhale through the nose. Letting go of judgment, self-criticism, anything that is not productive. Exhale it out. Good. Maybe we start to find a little rock here, forward and back. You might lift the back of your head up off the mat. And we're eventually coming onto our hands and knees. So if it takes a few rocks, if you want to just swing the legs behind you, whatever feels good. But we'll take our time coming up. Really nice, you all. So when you do come to this tabletop position, go ahead, tuck your toes, shift that weight back just slightly. So we get that little stretch here through the toes and through those feet. And then you can inhale, make your way back to that tabletop. You can decide if you want to keep the toes tucked or maybe untuck them. Big inhale through the nose, start to carry that chin up and let your belly hang low. On your exhale, tuck that chin, shoot the spine up. Little cat and cow here, but we're only shifting through one more time. So when you're ready, your inhale, pull the chest through, really release through the abdominals. Exhale, puff up that space in between the shoulders. And then find your neutral here. Good. One more big breath. And then find your child's pose. Shift that weight back, but let's extend the arms really long here. Really, really long. So much so that you actually might use your palms here to press hard into the earth and kind of push yourself back towards those heels. So it's kind of a self-assist. Good. Okay, now when you're ready, I want you to think tucking your tailbone, and you're going to roll your spine forward all the way up and through that tabletop. Bend the elbows and shift all the way down onto your bellies. Inhale, just open up the heart here. Exhale, melt that heart back down. Strong press here through the hands. You might tuck the toes. Think about tucking the tailbone and then shifting back to your child's pose. Yes. So I want us to really focus on leading with that tailbone. Your next inhale, again, really, really tucking that. Roll the spine forward. Yes. Tuck the elbows in. And now here the heart starts to open up. And then it will melt back down. Good. Beautiful. When you're ready, strong press, inhaling to come up, exhaling to start shifting back. We'll just do that one more time. Lead with the tailbone, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, and then feel yourself unravel that heart opening, bending the elbows, letting it shine, and then it melts down. Inhaling, pressing up, and then exhaling, releasing back to your child's pose. We'll meet back in our tabletop position. Nice, you all. Really beautiful movements. Just remember, if you're feeling it and it aligns with you, you're doing it. From your tabletop position, you'll ground into your right hand. Remember, it's a nice big palm. Okay, ground into it. Sweep that left hand as high as you can. Pause. Can we create more space at this right shoulder and right earlobe? Big inhale. On your exhale, let's thread that needle. Left hand's coming behind your right wrist. Maybe your left shoulder and left temple dips down. Oh. Now, remember, we're focusing on this heart tonight. So thinking about your heart right this moment, it's probably a little collapsed in. Can we walk our right fingertips out in front of us to kind of create this window for our heart to shine? And you might not be able to physically, for whatever reason, your shoulders are tight, you're compromised for space, but just that attempt. Take one more inhale. Good. Exhale it out. Let's drag that right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Strong press. Inhale. Drag the left arm back up to the sky. Create that space. Exhale, you'll plant the left hand down, ground into it. Inhale, right arm sweeps high. Create that space. Good. One more big inhale, reach. On your exhale, thread that needle with intention. Reach the right hand as far through as you can. Right temple, right shoulder comes down. And then this is where I'll maybe invite you to crawl those left fingertips out in front of you and let that heart kind of peek through this little window you've created. It's a small window. It's not a big amount of space. One more big inhale, you all. Beautiful job. Warming up that upper body a little bit. You're ready. Pull that left hand back underneath the shoulder. Press into it as you drag the right arm back up to the sky. Big breath in. And then that exhale will plant it down. Good. Let's tuck our toes here. So we're back in our tabletop. You'll tuck those toes, send your hips high, first downward facing dog. And while we're here, just, really feeling into it this first time, letting the head really hang heavy, that crown pulling down, but your tailbone pulling you up. So what we create is length through the spine. Good. Tap into the discomfort of this right off the bat, right? Like feel into it. It's like, dang, my arms are already like tired. It's been a few seconds. Feeling into that. Give yourself a big inhale through the nose. We're capable of hard things. Exhaling it out. Good. Now take your time as you walk those feet up towards your hands. You can do this any way you'd like. Tiptoe, big steps. You might do this kind of crossing one over the other. You'll arrive at the top. Inhale to half lift when you get there. The knees can be bent, but your spine is long. Exhale, refold. 2 more times of that. Let the heart here open up. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, melt down. One more time. Big inhale, expand, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften and melt. Just pause. The crown of your head pulls down. Your gaze is maybe in between those knees. Maybe you find a gentle, loving little sway here, side to side. Noticing how this feels. Good. Now we'll prepare to rise all the way. So soften the knees, ground into those feet, sweep your hands up, big inhale, fingertips extend towards the sky, and then they'll find heart center here on the exhale. Good. Letting them fall all the way down, opening up the chest. Okay, so this next little bit, you're at the top of your mat, your feet are about hip distance apart. Tilt that pelvis, just a little bit up. Right? So if we're kind of pressing it back, see if we can roll it just a little bit forward. Core engages. Sweep those hands up nice and high. Now from here, think cactus arms again, right? So we've seen this before. So those fingertips flare out, even your goddess arms. Big breath in through your nose. Good. Exhale it out. Now, when you're ready, your right arm, and I could be backwards for you all, your right arm, though, is going to reach up and over, but keep bending through this left one. Take another big inhale. Good. Exhale out. Inhale, just come back to that neutral cactus position. When you're ready, inhale, reach that left arm up and over, and think about breathing into that back body. Keep bending your right elbow. One more big breath. Big exhale. Inhale, just come back to those goddess arms, opening the chest here. Now, can we pull those palms even further back? So if we're from this side, if they're here, can we pull them back? Okay, ground through the feet. Inhale, reach those hands up nice and high. Good, come into a fold here. Exhale, hands will come down. Inhale to half lift. On your exhale, just take the fold. Hands will grab hold of your elbows. Really allowing those shoulders to melt, all of that blood rushing back into the arms. Take a moment here, switch forearms on top, and just grab hold of those elbows all over again. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. Beautiful. Hands will release to your mat. You'll step one foot back, then the next. You'll find your plank. And we embrace the plank just for a moment. Modify it if you need to, right? If the intention tonight is not power, drop those knees. Create that space or puff up that space in between the shoulders. Take one more inhale. Now on the exhale, drop the knees. If they're not, hug those elbows in, heart will melt down. Now we take the fingertips out to the sides here And we lift and we open up the heart here. Good. So your hip bones here are pressing. Take one more inhale, lift the chin slightly. Good. Exhale, allow the heart to melt. Chin will just tap. Now think right shoulder grounding down as you peek and lift over your left shoulder. Good. On your exhale, slowly lower that heart back down. Chin will tap, opposite side. Inhale, dip the left shoulder, peek over the right. On the exhale, allow the heart to melt, chin will tap. Good. Hands will draw back in. You'll take a little cobra here. So those hands are underneath the shoulders, just lifting the heart. Yes. On the exhale, allow the heart to melt. One last time, but this time maybe the hands come around to the low back. They might clasp. They might just want to rest. Okay. When you're ready, open up that heart, big breath in. Can we pull those shoulders towards the back body? One more inhale, maybe the toes lift, big toes gravitate to one another. Exhale, allow the heart to melt, and then pull those hands away from one another. They come under the shoulders. You'll tuck the toes, strong press up and back to your downward facing dog. Hips will lift, pedaling out those heels just a little bit if you need to. Good. Good. So we've done this before, these little hip dips, but I'll describe them in depth here so that we can really feel comfortable. Walk your feet closer together in your downward facing dog. Now bend your knees pretty generously. Pivot so that your right hip starts to fall down towards the earth. You press into the right hand, your left hand goes high, heart shines. Yes. Big inhale, come back to that downward facing dog. Let your left hip drop, pivot on the balls of your feet. Right arm goes high, heart shines. Inhale, come back to downward facing dog, and then just feel confident in it. You can walk those feet a little further away. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. Now, don't be discouraged by your right leg lifting here, three-legged dog. It doesn't have to be high. In fact, your right big toes could just ground, right? One more big inhale. When you're ready, step this foot to meet in between the hands. Drop your left knee, untuck your toes, and reach those hands as high as you can. Embrace that for one more breath. And then choose something that feels good for you. Maybe it's the hands coming down. Maybe it's them interlocking behind you. And maybe it's just still reaching them up. You have two more breaths. Hop into your space. Beautiful. When you're ready from here, you'll find a fold. Your left palm, nice and big, will ground. Your right arm will flow high. Can we continue to hug this right knee in close to your body? And if you're feeling inclined to pick up your back left knee, who's to say you can't do that? Keep rooting those hips. One more big breath. Good. On your exhale, float that right hand down to the inside. Okay. Now, before we go anywhere else, you're going to tuck the back left toes if they're not, and you're going to lift that knee. Okay. Now, from here, you're going to pivot, and then maybe your right elbow wants to connect to your right thigh because we're coming into our side angle, right? So that elbow can rest. Your left hand will come high. If that hand wants to stay down, it's that little pivot of the foot. Good. Opening up the heart here. Yeah. Good. Beautiful. Now I want us to really tap into this strength for maybe just a moment. Left arm's going to extend overhead. Maybe we just hover this right forearm, right? We don't even have to shoot it out to meet it, but we can. But maybe we just hover it. Big breath in through your nose. Full exhale, warrior two, we go. Left hand comes behind you, right arm reaches in front. Good. When you're ready, left hand will drop, right arm goes to the sky. Ground into that right knee just for a moment, and then send it straight, but keep shooting behind you. That beautiful release. That right leg was working really hard. Big breath in through your nose. Good. As you exhale, you'll windmill all the way down, bend into that right knee. Frame that right foot, step back through your plank, embrace it. You are strong. Big inhale through your nose. Downward facing dog, big exhale. Tailbone reaches to your ceiling. Yes, releasing some of that hot air if we need to. Good. When you're ready, we'll begin to come into our other side. So that left leg will lift first. Don't be discouraged by the length of it. Finding what feels good for you. Reground through your right heel. From here, nice strong step to meet in between the hands, dropping your back right knee, untucking, reaching those hands high. Just for one more breath. Good. On your exhale, finding something that resonates with you. Maybe it's closing the eyes. Any other expression of you. One more big breath. Good. Let's find that fold. Your right hand will come down, nice big palm. Your left arm will reach to the sky. And of course, we can still have the heart opener with this left hand, maybe coming to our low back if our shoulders are recovering, tired, injured, whatever the case is. Keep rooting those hips down. This is where I offered. If you want to lift that back right knee, you certainly can. Last inhale. Good. Now on your exhale, start to float that left hand down. It comes to the inside. Now, once again, before we go anywhere else, you're going to float that right knee up even just for a moment and pivot on that foot. Maybe your left hand, or excuse me, left forearm needs to come rest. That's fine. Right arm will eventually open, side angle. Good. Now, I kind of brought us into this a much different way than I typically do to really get into those hips. Good. Fire up that core. We can do this. Right arm might extend out overhead. You don't have to reach that left hand, but maybe you just hover it. We can do this. One more big inhale. Full and complete exhale. Good. Warrior two. Right arm this time behind you. You're grounding strongly into that left foot. That thigh is really working. From here, drop the right hand. Extend that left arm up. Ground deeply and then straighten that left leg, but keep shooting backwards. Beautiful extension through the left hip. Good. Next inhale, start to carry that left hand down, windmilling both of them, pivoting, stepping back through your plank, then pausing, pressing the earth away. We're almost there. Big breath in, downward facing dog, exhaling it out. Good. Take a big inhale through the nose. Good. Now let your knees here drop down. Find a quick child's pose. Resting your hips back. Great. Always room for rest. Always this equal give and take. Good. Now from here, you'll walk your hands to your knees, and then you'll actually come high on your knees. So sitting up. Now I'm going to show this just with the bolster because again, my knees have been a bit achy. But you're going to come high on those knees. Your toes might tuck behind you. It's a comfort level. What we're coming to is camel pose. Okay. So totally a comfort level. If your feet want to be down, that's totally fine. Your hands are going to find your low back. How they find your low back's up to you and your shoulders. Okay. But you're going to open the heart. Before we go any further, squeeze your core. Draw that low belly in. Find that little pelvic tilt. Okay. Now start to carry. Now don't let up the core here. It's important with this back bend. Squeeze that. Start to carry your gaze to the ceiling as you gently press into that low back to keep those hips shooting forward. You don't have to go far here, but listen to your body. If those hands want to reach towards your heels, they might attempt. Big inhale through the nose. Your core is strong. Exhale it out. Now, instead of swimming your way up, just bend those knees, drop your hips down, and then curl and tuck the chin. Come all the way down. Good. Hands might rest at your heels. So you kind of just flow into that counter stretch. Take one more inhale. Big exhale out. Good. Maybe drawing those hands back out in front of you, taking a child's pose, untucking the feet, resting the hips back. Forehead here might connect. We've got one last little push, my friends. Beautiful. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale it out. Good. Let's slowly come back to our downward facing dog. Weight shifts into the hands, your toes tuck, and those hips lift nice and high. Good. Beautiful. Okay, right leg here will lift. Find some length. Reground through your left heel. Now, when we step this foot through, we're actually going to the outside edge of our mat. So think outside of your right hand, lizard pose. Keep your back left knee lifted. And we're just embracing this wide stance. So if I turn to the front here, again, it's just outside of that right hand. Okay, now from here, you can observe first. I encourage this, okay? Don't think you have to go high, but you're gonna take this leg up and over. Wild thing. Your right hand will go high. And again, it can be this low pivot. We did those hip dips to start to just feel more comfortable. Yes, your extension, right hand high, left leg long. Now from here, drop the right hand, repivot, fallen triangle, right leg shoots through, ground into the right hand, left arm goes high. Yes. One more inhale. Good. Let your left hand come down, pigeon pose. Pivot, drop your right knee. You can go ahead and drop that back left one. Untuck your toes. Maybe you open the heart just to begin. Big breath. Good. If your exhale allows it and you want to dip or melt the heart down, you can. Taking a moment here to recover. We'll have that same thing on the other side. So keep in mind, it's a strong push, right? It's pretty intense, but there's a light at the end. One more big breath here. Good. Exhale it out. Now, don't come out of this quite yet, but start by just grounding the hands and lifting the heart. We're going to embrace this right here, just with the heart open for 2 more breaths. If you'd like to bend that back left knee, you certainly could, even sweeping that left hand behind, maybe to locate it. Remember, if you're nowhere close, that's fine. A long sleeve shirt works just as great. Good. Taking your time here. Now to exit, you're going to fall onto your right hip gently. Yeah. Bend that left knee. You're going to carry it all the way over, cross it over your right knee, and then give it a nice big hug. If this is a lot with the legs, just take that right leg long. You know, who cares if that's more comfortable? Hug this knee into your chest. Roll those shoulders back. Keep holding on with your right hand. Left hand's going to come up high. And then exhale, it's going to open up and draw behind you. Maybe you close the eyes. Maybe your right elbow wants to hook. Can we think about that heart having a space here to just shine? One more breath. Full exhale. Good. Inhale to start to unwind. Now, how you're going to get out of this, you can just kind of uncross the legs. You'll swing them behind you, and then you'll prepare for your downward facing dog, just resetting up however you'd like. We have that same push on the other side. Mentally prepare, take a deep breath. I'll walk you through it though, okay? Hips lift, tailbone pulls, heads pressing in between those arms, and we are strong. Your left leg here will begin to lift. You'll press through that right heel. Okay, we find our lizard pose. It's that step outside of the left hand. Your hips here sink. Remember, they don't have to come super, super low, but just finding something that opens them up for you. Okay, now from here, you ground into your right hand as you swing this left leg around, and then press through your right foot, lift your hips high. So you could even play around with that, right? Letting your hips come down and then sending them back up again. Good. Now we're strong. Pivot on that right hand on the ball of your right foot. Left hand comes down, falling triangle. Left leg shoots through. Right hand goes high. Good. One more big breath. You can do this. Right hand comes down. Pivot on the right foot. Pigeon pose. Right knee drops. You open the heart. You adjust in your alignment. And then if your next exhale allows, that little hinge forward, that melting of the heart, you can come there. Enjoying the peace. Two breaths. Keep rolling that right hip towards the earth. Take as much time as you need here, walking those hands up and opening the heart. Maybe the eyes closed. Maybe this is right where we stay. If you'd like to bend that back right knee, maybe sweeping the right hand back towards it. Pretty intense quad stretch, even if your quads aren't sore. And then being mindful here to just not fling if we are holding on to it, just gently releasing it. You'll slowly come down onto this left hip as you bend that right knee and then gently swinging it all the way over, crossing it over that left leg or left knee, and then hugging it in towards your chest. Pulling the shoulders back, left hand will stay connected. Inhale, sweep that right arm up. Exhale, opening up to the right. And then maybe deciding if that elbow wants to hook, it certainly can. How does our body move with this breath? What happens as we take this last inhale? And what happens when we exhale into it a little deeper? Good, you all. Inhale, slowly unwind. Good. You'll uncross these legs. We'll prepare for our final downward facing dog. We have a little bit of balance work, and then we'll wind it down, beautiful people. Tuck those toes, lengthen the spine here. Think about the beauty in this journey, right? If you reflect back on the first downward facing dog you did, your shoulders were probably tight. You felt heavy through the arms. And thinking how far you have come. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale it out. Take your time walking those feet here towards the hands, any way you'd like to do that. And eventually coming to the top of your mat, inhaling to half lift. You squeeze the glutes, low belly's pulled in. You'll exhale, rehinge and fold all the way down. Soften the knee, sweep the hands all the way up to the sky here. Good, hands find your heart center. Maybe you pause. Maybe you allow the thumbs to rest on the chest wall. You take a moment here to reground. Let your feet replant, those hips opening just slightly. And then maybe those hands come down towards the earth, fingertips reaching. This last little bit we'll move through very quickly, okay? And not quickly in the sense that we're gonna be like boom, 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 but there's not a lot to it. Okay, little bit of balance work. Start by engaging the core and finding that gentle tilt here. Remember, if those hips are really, really tilting back, can we tilt them up slightly? You'll start to draw the right knee in towards the chest. You might soften here through that left knee. Your heart's open, pressing through that leg. Good. From here, when you're ready, your right hand is going to find that right knee. And I'm just going to face you all, but stay where you're at. And then your left hand's going to come out to the side. Big inhale, you'll start to carry this right knee open. Just allowing the stability to kind of come into play. Good. Big inhale through your nose. On your exhale, you'll start to close that up. Good. Now, hands will come down by your sides. You're going to let that knee come in line with the left. So if you're looking at from the side, you're still balancing. Now, your right hand, palm faces out, is going to attempt to catch that foot. Okay. Left hand goes high. Big breath in. Start to press foot into hand, and you'll gently lean forward for our dancer pose. It's important here that the foot presses into the hand to open up through that hip. When you think you can't go any further because your mind is limiting you, not physically, it's your mind, maybe you gently move forward. One more big inhale. Exhale it out. Knee starts to come back towards your chest. You gracefully release, that knee lifts. Good. Arms will reach to the sky here. You're almost there. Warrior three. Send that right leg behind you. But this time you press through that heel. That knee was really bent before. Right now we expand. One last big breath. That left leg has been working. Gently stand tall. Right foot connects to the left. Hands can reach down by the sides and just pedal out through those feet. Good, you all. Good. Good. Maybe you even tuck the toes here and kind of gently press them to the earth. This little counter stretch for them. And then let's reset. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale out. Weight shifts into the right foot. Left knee lifts. Strong spine. When you're ready, left hand finds that knee. Right arm goes out to the side. Good. Big inhale. Allow that knee to open. Good. Leaning into the wobbles. They're part of the journey. Good. One more inhale. You'll let this knee come back close. Hand can release down, and you'll start to drift this left knee in line with the right. Left hand, palm faces out, because we want this external rotation of the shoulder, and it might reach back for that foot. Okay. Glue the knees together. Right hand will reach high. Big breath in, soften through the right knee, and extend into your dancer. Your heart here just pouring out this beautiful, beautiful pose that embodies the love that you have to give. Keep embracing. Keep pressing foot into hand. What mental limitations are we putting on ourselves? Good. One last breath. Good. Knee comes to chest, gently releasing that foot. And if we fall out of it, it's fine. Arms might reach high here. They certainly don't have to. Big breath in. Warrior three, kicking that leg back with love, pressing through that left heel, softening through the jaw, just being here, being right now, watching your right leg just working so hard. One final breath. Standing tall. Let that left foot connect down, eyes closed. Let your arms just dangle here. Reaching those arms up to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, you'll take a loving fold, maybe being gentle through those knees. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to come all the way down. Now this time, just let one knee come down to the mat, followed by the next. You'll gently come down onto one glute. Your legs will swing in front of you. This beautiful, simple transition. You might scoot yourself a bit forward. Now, before we lower all the way down, let your soles of your feet connect and just find a really gentle butterfly. Of course, it can be a little bit more intense if you'd like. You might hold on to the ankles or hold on to the toes, but use something here to gently open the heart. And think about feeling this stretch instead of more in your hips, actually more in your heart and in the chest and the shoulders. The eyes might close, embodying love, peace, forgiveness, compassion. When you're ready here, just start to tuck the chin, thinking about as if we are kind of rolling into a ball here and allowing that heart to come all the way down. Good. One last time, you'll unravel, opening up the heart, gently pulling on those ankles or toes to let the heart shine. Good. And then gently releasing what you have, helping those knees come back together. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. All right. So take your time, feel comfortable in your space, right? We'll be down here the remainder of the time. Knees are going to pull gently in towards the chest. Those loving rocks. Good. You'll release the knees, feet will plant, hands can just come down by your sides. And then you'll just windshield wiper out those knees as slowly as you can. Thinking nourishing movements. All of the muscles in your face just surrendering, dissolving into the mat. We'll let those knees become still. You'll begin to send one leg long, followed by the next slow motion. Your feet will fall open and your body will rest. And just diving in. I'm going to give you a few moments here for yourself to keep going deeper into your mind and into your body. And then I'll return to guide you through a little metta meditation. Keep softening your body. Just allow my voice to serve as a guide. Something you hear in the distance, you're completely aware of. Take a moment to bring your eyes to the space in between the eyebrows. Imagine a dearly loved person is sitting across from you, and a white light connects you heart to heart. You feel connected with the feelings of affection and warmth and love that you have for this person. You enjoy those feelings as they fill your body. Next, slowly focus on the phrase, may I be well, happy, and peaceful, feeling the warmth of loving kindness fill your body. And you then send these feelings, these same feelings, to this friend, this individual you love deeply. And you say, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. Breathing naturally as the light continues to connect you heart to heart. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May you be well, happy, and peaceful. Next, continue to breathe naturally. Imagine this white light between you becoming a circle of light around you both. The light is bathing you in the warmth and peace of loving kindness that you radiate out to your surroundings. This circle includes all beings, from the smallest insects to the largest of animals, and extends out into the entire universe. You see yourself and your friend, this loved individual, radiating the light of loving kindness out into infinity. May we be well, happy, and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. Enjoy the feelings of warmth and expansion in your body. Recognize the feelings that flow from your heart out into the universe, in the universal friendliness reflected in your own heart. May we all be well, happy, and peaceful. As you feel ready, maybe you begin to gently wiggle those fingers or wiggle the toes or any other gesture in this moment that is speaking to you. You may begin to transition to your favorite side, perhaps gently resting that head on the lowered arm. And in our own time, eventually coming to any kind of seated position just for these last few moments together to lengthen the spine as the crown continues to pull up, our root drawing down to the mat. Maybe the hands gently resting on the knees or in the lap. And as we've transitioned, we carry this warmth, this expansion, this light in our body. You'll take one final inhale through the nose, exhaling it out any way that suits you, drawing the hands to your heart center. Once again, maybe allowing those thumbs to gently rest just for a brief moment, feeling that connection of your heart, that physical beating. The hands then might lift to our forehead to honor our thoughts. They might then come to our lips to honor the words that we speak. And finally, those hands resting at our heart center to honor all that we do. May our thoughts, our words, and our actions all be in alignment. The love and light that is me honors, sees, hears, respects the light and love that is you. Namaste.